Hi, I'm Farmer Bonnie from 88 Alpaca Ranch. I'm here in Lovettsville, Virginia, and I raise alpacas, and I do have a few horses and chickens on property as well. My husband and I started raising alpacas in 2005. Alpacas originate from South America, the Andes of South America, the countries of Peru, Chile, and Bolivia. And we do have all three of those genetics on our farm. There are 22 natural colors of fiber. You'll see right here, this is one shade of brown. So there's creams, there's fawns, there's browns, and there's 3 shades of cream, brown, fawn, and then 2 shades of black, 2 shades of silver gray, which is a blend of black and white fibers, and 2 shades of rose gray, which is a blend of brown and white fibers. There are 2 breed types. There are Wakaya alpacas, and if you look right here, we have a few Wakaya alpacas watching us today. And then the second girl to your right is a Surrey alpaca. Wakayas represent about 90% of the U.S. herd, and the Surrey alpacas represent about 10% of the U.S. herd. The difference between Wakaya, spelled H-U-A-C-A-Y-A, is that their fiber's lofty. It sticks out from the body, and you typically make really nice warm garments out of that fiber, like our shawls, scarves, hats, gloves. The Surrey alpaca have dreadlocks, and they're very, very silky and lustrous, and they're a little bit more lightweight, and when you feel it, it has a really cool feel to the hand of it. And that's usually used for making our more lightweight garments and summer wear. Again, shirts and scarves can be made out of the Surrey fiber, and shawls, lace weight shawls. The difference between an alpaca and llama, alpacas weigh on average about 150 pounds full grown, and your llama weighs anywhere between 300 and 500 pounds. So it's a big difference. Alpacas typically are on this earth because of their exquisite fiber. Their fiber used to be once reserved for the royalty of the royals in the Andes, the Incan culture. And llamas were typically used for packing, carrying your bags, walking through the mountains and climbing and hiking. But nowadays, since llamas have come to the U.S., there are fiber farms that are breeding the Surrey fiber to be just as comparable to alpaca or Wakaya fiber, Wakaya or Surrey fiber. So there are actually the Wakaya type of llama and the Surrey type of llama. The other 2 differences with alpacas and llamas tend to, they're more forward in their temperament and will more likely spit at you, whereas alpacas use their spitting as a defense mechanism to show another alpaca that they're annoyed, to tell a male alpaca that they're pregnant, leave me alone, or to fight over that perfect blade of grass or piece of hay or grain. The byproducts, you've seen some of the products that we process here at 88 Alpaca Ranch. We do shear every single year. About the 1st or 2nd week of April, we take the fiber off because that's when it starts to get warm in our region. And so we shear off using a very gentle method. It takes about 8 minutes to shear the fleece off of an alpaca. Hi, Vicky Vale. And then what I do is I will open this fleece up on a big long table and skirt out any of the vegetation, any hairs that are stronger hairs or thicker hairs than my fine fiber. Usually we find those in their chest or in their armpits. So if you look right here on Vicky Vale, I will skirt all of this out because that's hairier and coarser fiber that I don't want in my yarns. After skirting it, I do send most of my fiber off to a mill, but if I want to process it myself, I will put it through this drum carder, and it has sharp teeth on it, and what it does is it opens up the locks of the fiber and cards it into a nice smooth roving, which then can be used to spin with. So here we have our roving that we can then spin with. And look at this, you're gonna get a demo. So then we take the fiber from the roving stage, and you can either spin with this or you can felt with it. And this is the older method of spinning. Nowadays they have big machinery. But what it does is, by spinning the wheel clockwise, it puts energy into the fiber and spins it around to make the yarn. I like to spin fun, bulky yarns, God bless you, that have other additives in it, like sparkle or different colors or mohair, sometimes merino. Just to spice it up. And then I also like to make my yarns just thick and thin, so it's not your typical mill spun yarn. I call it your fancy fun yarn. Then of course you either knit or crochet. And here I have some knitting needles where I've started a set of boot toppers. And they go in your boots and then they fold over. I have some hand knitted fingerless gloves, which keep me super duper warm in the wintertime when I'm doing my farm chores, filling water buckets, scooping poop. And then again, we mentioned the scarves. We do send about half of our clipping, because we have an immense amount of fiber from 57 animals. So we send half of our clipping to the New England Fiber Co-op, and then we bank our fiber, and then we're able to buy back our products. So there's probably some of my fiber in these socks, but there's a chance that none of my fiber are in these socks. But I do bank my fiber, and then I'm able to buy back. It's our co-op that we use. We have our yarns. The other half of the product, or fiber, after shearing, I send it out to the mill. Several mills that I use: Painted Sky Alpaca Farm and Fiber Mill in Denton, Maryland, Blue Mountain Farms up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, New Era Fiber Mill in Tennessee, and Echo View Fiber Mill in North Carolina. And I choose different mills for different products. New Era Fiber Mill, they are Surrey specialists. They have a Surrey farm. They know how to spin the Surrey fiber. And they also make sock yarn. And so I have that spun up on cones and send my sock yarn out to sock mills. And then Echo View, they really know how to spin a nice lofty fiber. It's a loose spun fiber, so you can really feel the squishiness of the yarn. Okay, so we've talked about the fiber. Let me take a look at my notes, see if I'm missing anything. So those are the byproducts and uses. Other uses of alpacas, and this is one of the questions that the judges will ask our youth during youth showmanship. What are some uses of alpacas? Alpacas can be used for therapy. Alpacas are known to go to retirement homes, youth shelters, schools. They're used as PR animals. They're used as pets. Yes, they can go in with sheep or goats. They're probably not going to be the guard animal that some farmers hope them to be, but they are a bigger presence in the pasture, so they do kind of help ward off any predator, which the #1 predator for alpacas in our area would be the neighborhood dog. Second would be a pack of coyotes, or what do we have, bobcat in the area? Few, yes. Bear, kind of leave them alone. Foxes don't really bother them. They really just go after my chickens actually, because I have such a large herd and my chickens free range, with my alpacas, the foxes don't even bother my chickens. That's good. So they are kind of guard animals for my chickens. alpacas in Loudoun County. There are a handful of farms here in Loudoun County. There's actually there's about 3 of us right here in Lovettsville, Virginia. I am probably the only farm in Loudoun County that is AOA certified. My entire herd is DNA tested, microchipped, and registered with the U.S. Registry. So if we were to have a national disaster, I can identify every single one of my alpacas with a microchip reader.
AOA?
AOA, yes.
Stands for?
Alpaca Owners Association. Yes. And we do show our alpacas at those shows as well, and the judge judges. It's a 60% of fiber qualities. They want to see fineness, consistency of color, consistency of crimp, and density. More density means more fiber, and then 40% conformation. So if you look at this girl right here, she is conformationally perfect. They use a system where we, you kind of eyeball it, but their head to the top of their withers to their feet, their withers to their tail, there should be a certain ratio. It's a boxy frame is basically what it's making, is the ideal conformationally correct alpaca. Some fun facts about alpacas. What do you want to know? Are there any questions about alpacas? Not bad at all. I mean, it seems like I have a lot of alpacas here. I have 57. It takes me about an hour and a half in the morning to clean the barns. Do you want to go for a walk so you can see that? So it takes me about an hour and a half to clean the barns, put out fresh water, which just like humans, the #1 nutrient for alpacas is fresh water daily. And that is because the alpaca body is 70% water, just like we are. So that's a pretty cool, interesting fun fact. Alpacas use a communal dung area, and this is one area outside of the barn, which we do prefer them to use. And then inside, when it's really hot during the summer, I do run fans in their barns. And so they use one big spot. And this is different. That's Vicky Bea. She's one of our 4-H girls. And then this is Rio. She's an example of a rose gray. She would be considered a medium rose gray, and that's because she has a mix of brown and white fibers. She's a beautiful girl. I call her Lavender. But again, this is a communal dung area. In the wild, alpacas are known to use a communal dung area. They tend to use it before they bed down at night, and they move away from that dung area because in the wild there are more chances of them being taken by a wild animal, a cougar, a coyote, a wolf, what have you. So in the mornings it takes me about an hour and a half to clean, put out fresh hay, put out fresh water, and give them a supplement. We do supplement our alpacas with either a mineral salt or a pelleted feed. And what that is for their selenium. In North America, our soil is deficient in selenium, the mineral selenium, so we need to give that to them so that they have healthy system, healthy hair, healthy skin, vitamin E, biotin, and zinc. Zinc is a very, very important mineral for alpaca hair growth. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us today here at 88 Alpaca Ranch in Lovettsville, Virginia. Come by and see us. We'll be open this weekend, September 28th, for National Alpaca Farm Days. It's a free event, so come by and learn more about alpacas or get up close and meet them. Look at Miss Mia Dora and Carly, our 4-H extension agent. She's a sweet pea. She loves to say hi to our visitors and snuggle in with them. We're also on the Loudoun County Farm Tour. That is always the 3rd weekend in October and the 3rd weekend in May. It is also a free event. Come out and meet our 4-H club and support them as well. They'll be attending 2 shows in this fall. So again, thank you so much.